Hi everyone. In this lecture we will see strings in Python. In the data types lecture we have already seen that string is a valid data type in Python. It is a predefined data type. So we will see all the operations that can be done on strings, how to write strings, everything. All the details related to strings, let's discuss. So firstly, introduction to strings. What is a string? String is an ordered sequence of characters. We know that. String is what? It is an ordered sequence of characters. Any sequence is ordered because like in a sequence what will happen? You can say that this is the first item, this is the second item, this is the third item and so on. Okay, ordering means you can actually define that like this particular element is the first element, second element, third element and so on. And string is specifically a sequence of characters. It can only contain a sequence of characters, nothing else. Okay. Now, and it is enclosed in single quote, double quote or triple quotes. So there are various ways of writing strings in Python. You can write a string in single quotes like this, hello. And even in a single quote, if you write like this, a single character, this is also a string. Although this is a single character, but it is also a string. And even you can write an empty string like this. Start a single quote and end a single quote. Okay, this is also a string. Now, on our keyboard, we have a single quote character. We also have a double quote character. So we can write a string like this also. This is also a valid way of writing the same string. This and this are same thing. Okay. Similarly, you can write a string like this, or even you can start a double quote and end a double quote like this. This will be an empty string. And you can do it using triple quotes as well. Now, triple quotes is not a character, right? Triple quote is not a single symbol. See, single quote and double quotes, they are both symbol on our keyboard. Even if you want to write double quotes, you just have to press a single key, right? That particular key actually prints the double quote. Like this character is single quote, this character is double quote. But triple quote is not a symbol on our keyboard. So how to draw a triple quote? You can use the single quote 3 times or you can even use the double quote 3 times. Both are same. So you can use like this single quote you can write 3 times and then here you can write the string and then end it with single quote 3 times, or you can even write it using double quotes 3 times. Double quote, double quote, double quote 3 times. Then you can write the string and then you can end it with 3 double quotes. So both of these, like if you're using single quote 3 times or if you're using double quote 3 times, these are both called multi-line strings. Multi-line strings. And if you're creating strings using single quote or double quote, they are called single line strings. They are called single line strings. Okay. So using single quote or double quote, you can draw single line strings, which means you have to write the entire string in a single line. And using triple quotes, why do we call them triple quotes? Although triple quote is again not a symbol, you have to use the single quote 3 times or you can use the double quote 3 times. That is called a triple quote. So using triple quotes, you can actually write a string in a multi-line format as well. So you can use the enter key like this. You can have a string like this, you started like this and you have written this is a, and you press the enter button. When you press the enter button, cursor goes in the next line and here you can write multi-line and then again you can press enter and here you can write string and here you can end it. So this will become an entire string. This is an entire string and it contains 2 new line characters. We know that if you press the enter key, it is equivalent of writing new line character. New line character means you have to go to the next line. So when you print this particular string, this as it is text will be printed. This is a, and then in the next line multi-line and then in the next line string. Okay. So one string can contain enter key or the new line character as well. So if you want to write a string like this in a multi-line format, then you have to use triple quotes. And to draw the triple quote, you can either use single quote 3 times or you can use the double quote 3 times. Okay, so these are various ways of writing strings in Python. All of them, like any of them can be used. So here is an example. Let's say we defined the string S1 as the string hello. In S2 we defined world using double quotes. In S3 we used a triple quote, like triple quote, and to draw the triple quote we have used single quote 3 times. Then this is a multi-line string and then we ended it. Okay, so these are various ways of defining strings in Python. Now let us look at indexing in Python strings. As I told you, strings are what? They are sequence of characters. Okay, so there is an index to everything. Whenever we define a sequence, I told you what is a sequence? It is an ordered collection, which means everything will have an index. Every element in a sequence will have an index. Index means, index will tell you what particular element is in what position. So the position of the element is called the index. And Python is a zero index programming language. So the first element will have an index of 0. So let us say we defined a string like GATE gate. We defined a string GATE gate. Then G will have index of 0, A will have index of 1, T will have index of 2, and E will have index of 3. These are the indices. Index means the position. So G is at 0th position, A is at 1th position, T is at 2 position, and E is at 3 position. So indexing in Python allows us to access individual characters of a string using their position or index. Positive indexing starts from 0 because Python is a zero index language. So the positive indexing, this is called positive indexing, and goes up to the length of string -1. So if the length of string is 4, if you have 4 characters in the string, here the length of string is 4, then the positive indexing will go from 0 to 3, which means length -1. Right? Because there are total length characters. If you start at 0, you will end at length -1. And they are traveled left to right. Here you are traveling from left to right. And in Python, you can have negative indexing as well. So negative indexing starts from -1 and goes backwards up to minus of length of string, right to left traversal. So in the same string, you can define negative indices as well. So Python supports negative indexing. How are negative indices defined? For the last character, you will have index of -1, then the second last character you will have -2, then the third last -3, and the fourth last -4, like this. So the negative indexing goes from right to left, positive indexing goes from left to right, and in negative indexing you start from -1, -2, -3, -4. In negative indexing you don't start from 0. In Python, in negative indexing you start from -1 only, and that is why positive indices go from 0 to length -1, and negative indices go from -1 to minus of length of string. So if the length of string is 4, it will go to -4. Okay, so here again the same example is given. Here the characters are GATE, the positive indices are 0, 1, 2 and 3, and the negative indices are -1, -2, -3, -4, traveled from right to left. Okay, this is how you can index elements. Now indexing elements means what? You can print any particular character. Let's say string S is this string GATE, and if you print in Python, if you have to do indexing, you have to use the square brackets. Using square brackets, we can do indexing. So if I write print of S of 2, then what does it mean? 2 is the index. So the index is 0, 1, 2 and 3. This is a positive index. If the index value is positive, we are using positive indexing. So positive index 2 means the character is T. So the character T will be printed on the string, on the screen. If I print S of let's say -2, then if I print -2 is the index of again the same character T. So T again will be printed. Okay, so this is how it is. You can, using the square brackets, you can write the index and you will get that particular value or that particular character in the string. So this is positive indexing and this is negative indexing in Python. Here is the same example. If you have the string S as GATE gate, again let us write the indices GATE. Positive indices are 0, 1, 2 and 3. Negative indices are -1, -2, -3 and -4. So if I print S of 0, 0th character which is G will be printed. S of 1 means first character which is A will be printed. S of -1 means the last character which is E will be printed. And S of -2 means second last character, which means T will be printed on the screen. Okay, so this is how you can index in Python. Now there is a very important concept. Strings in Python are immutable. Immutable means you cannot change a character, or in the same string you cannot add characters. Okay, once a string is created, you cannot change its contents. It is immutable. So let us say if I say string S is GATE gate. Okay, then I cannot do, let's say, s of, I know what is s of 1, at first position what is the element? A. I cannot change it to some other character. This is not allowed. This is not allowed. You cannot change a particular character in the string because the strings are immutable. So at a particular position, if you want to change an element, you cannot do that. Okay? So strings in Python are immutable. You cannot change elements, you cannot add elements, you cannot delete a particular character from a string. You cannot do that. You can strings are immutable, meaning once created, they cannot be changed. You cannot modify a character in place in the same string. You cannot do that. There are other ways to achieve that. We will see like how you can actually, if you want to change a particular character, you will have to create another string. You cannot do it in the same string in the same memory location. See, in memory, what happens if I write s equal to hello? A particular memory location will be allocated. Let's say the address is 1234. Then the string hello will be added here, HELLO. This particular string will be added, and the variable s will be pointing at this memory location. S will be pointed to this memory location. Now at this particular memory location, you cannot change anything. You cannot add a character, delete a character, or change a character. You cannot do anything. If you want to change a character, you will have to do it in some other memory location. At some other memory location, let's say if I want to delete one of the else and you want to make it HELO hello, you have to do it in some other memory location. And how to do that, we will see later. Using slicing and all, you can do that. But in the same memory location, you cannot do. Okay? So you cannot modify a character in place. In place means at the same memory location. So if you have s equal to hello, and if you want to change the first character to capital H, you cannot do that. S of 0 equal to capital H, if you write this, you will get an error, and the error will be str object does not support item assignment. Okay, string object, you cannot do an item assignment. You cannot substitute or assign a particular character. You cannot do that. So because strings are immutable. Okay, next concept, very important concept in Python. It works on all collections, strings, lists, everything. So what is slicing? Slicing in Python. Slicing is the process of extracting a portion of a sequence. This can work on any sequence, for example, strings or lists or tuples. You can do slicing. Slicing means you want to take a particular portion out of the string. For example, let's say the string is gate DA. This is the string. And I want to take all the characters from the, like indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I want to take all the characters from 2 to 4 position. This is called a slice. I want to take a slice out of it. Like in a pizza, you take a slice out, right? Exactly same. You are taking a slice out of it. So this is called slicing. So the syntax of slicing is very simple. You just have to write the sequence name. So if it is a string, you have to write the string name. Or if it is like a list, you have to write the list name, the variable name basically, just the sequence name. And again, you have to use the square brackets. In square brackets, we write three things: start, colon, stop, colon, step. We write three values: start, then stop, and then step size. Okay. This is kind of like when we discussed range function. In the range function also we had these three parameters, right? Start, stop and step. Same way, like here when you have to take a slice also, the syntax is like this. In square brackets you use start, colon, stop, colon, step. Okay, that's the same three parameters. So what happens? What is the start parameter? Start is the index to begin slicing from. From what index you have to start taking the slice? It is the starting index. And it is inclusive. Again, the same theory follows for the range function as well. The start index is inclusive. That is also added in the slice. And it defaults to 0. So if you don't add the start value, if you skip the start value, if you don't write the start value in slice, the default value will be 0, which means it will start from the first character. Okay. Now stop means what? Where do you want to stop? So index to stop slicing. And it is exclusive. So the stopping point is not added. It stops one point before stop. Okay, it stops one character or one object before stop. So stopping point is exclusive, it is not added in the slice. And it defaults to the length of sequence. So if you skip writing stop, if you don't write the stop value, the default value of stop will be the length of the sequence. For example, if the length of the sequence is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so sorry, the length of the sequence is 6 here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 characters. There are total 6 characters. And the indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the stopping point, if you forget the stopping point, default stopping point will be 6. It means in the slice, everything will be taken before 6. Which means till the last point, everything will be taken. So if you forget writing start, if you don't write start, default will be 0, which means everything from the beginning will be taken. And if you don't write stop, stop will be taken as the length of the sequence, which is 6. So everything will be added before the length, which means everything will be added. So if you don't write start and stop both, then the entire string will be taken as the slice. Okay. And third is step size. Ki how many characters you want to skip? Step size says how much step size should be. So if the step size is 1, you will jump 1 characters. Like from here you will go here, 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 like that. But if the step size is 2, from the starting point you will jump 2 characters. Then again you will jump 2 characters. Then again you will jump 2 characters, like that. So if you want to take alternating elements, or if you want to take every kth element, you can use the step size or the step parameter. Okay, so there are 3 parameters: start, stop and step. And step, like the step value is optional. You can skip writing the step at all. Start and stop are not optional in slicing. So what do I mean by that? We will see in examples, we will see. But remember that start and stop are not optional. You have to write it. But if you don't write it, then the default value will be 0 and the length of the sequence. But step is completely optional. Step is optional meaning you can skip this entire part. You can even ignore this colon. You cannot ignore the first colon, but you can ignore the second colon. You can just have start and stop. So in the examples, let's try to see this particular point, okay? What start, stop and step means. And the default value of step is 1. So by default, if you're not writing step, it will take 1 steps, which means it will take everything. So let us take some examples. So here we have a string as gate Python, okay? GATEPYTHON. So what is the length of this string? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 characters are there. Total length is 10. Indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. These are the indices. Okay. Now what happens in slicing? Let's say this string is present in the variable s. Variable s contains this string. Now I told you, like when you do slice, you have to write square brackets. In the square brackets, you can do slicing. So if I just add 1 colon, and if I write the starting point and the stopping point, there are 2 ways in which you can do slicing. One is using this way, start colon stop, and other is using this way, start colon stop colon step. Okay, there are 2 ways in which you can do it. So if you are writing 1 colon, it means that you are not writing step at all. So the default value of step will be taken, which is 1. And if you are using 2 colons, then you are actually writing the values of start, stop and step, all 3 of them. But the idea is you can leave some of them empty also. So you can write like this. You can just write this. You have not written start and stop. In this case, what is there? You have just added colon. It means that the default value of start and stop should be taken. And similarly, let's say if you write like this, colon and then 3. It means that you have written the stop value, but the default value of start should be taken. And similarly, let's say you write like this, colon, colon. It means that you have not written start, stop and step. It means that the default value of start, stop and step should be taken. Or even you can write like this, colon, colon and then 3. It means that default value of start and stop should be taken and the step size will be 3. Okay. So there are 2 ways in which you can write start colon stop or start colon stop colon step. Now let us look at the examples given and see what will happen. So first is print s of 0:4. 0:4. Here we have not added another colon, which means default value of step will be taken, which is 1. Which means every character will be taken. You will take jump of 1 size. And start is 0 and stop is 4. It means that you have to start at 0. Start is inclusive. Start is inclusive, right? So 0 will be taken. The slice will start at this character and it will end at 4. But the stopping point is exclusive. Stopping point is not included, which means you have to stop at 3 only. You don't have to take 4. If the stopping point is 4, you don't have to take 4. That is exclusive. This is inclusive and this is exclusive. Always. So it means that you have to take everything between 0 and 3. And by default the step size is 1, so you will take every character. So this will give you the string GATE. GATE. Okay, so the output will be GATE. If you print this particular slice, the output will be GATE. Now let's take the next example. Next example is S of :4. Here we have added only one colon, which means step will be default, step size will be 1. And we have not written the start value. If you are not writing the start value, then the default value of start will be taken as 0. And stopping point here is, we have defined as 4. So again the same slice will be taken from 0 to 3 because 4 is not included. So again the same slice we will be getting, and again the output will be GATE gate. Okay. Third example is S of 4:. S of 4:. Here again we have not added another colon. We have only added one colon. It means first value is start, second value is stop. So here the value of start we have written as 4 and the value of stop is not given. The value of stop is not given. It means that the default value will be taken. Default value will be the length of the string. The length of the string here is 10 characters. So 10 characters. So stopping point by default will be 10, which means we will take the entire string, like everything till the end. Okay, till the 9th character. So here the slice taken will be 4 to 10. And we know that starting point is inclusive, which means we will start at 4 and we will end at 10. 10th is not there, we'll just have to stop before 10. So this particular string will be taken and the output will be PYTHON Python. So the output here will be PYTHON Python. Okay. Now let's look at the next example. Here we have S: :2. So here we have added 2 colons. It means start, stop and step, all 3 are there. But we have not written the value of start and stop. So the default value will be taken. Default value of start is 0. Default value of stop is the length, which is 10, and the step size we have given as 2. It means that you have to start at 0. We have to end at the last character. 10 means you have to stop at 9 only, right? Because stopping point is not inclusive. It is exclusive. So 0 to 9, but the step size is 2. It means you will take the first character, which means G. You start at the same position, start at G only. But now the step size is 2, which means you will jump 2 characters. You will not jump one character. You will jump 2 characters. From G you will go to T. From T again you will increment the index by 2. So from 2 you will go to 2 plus 2, 4. So P. From P again you will go to 4 plus 2, which is 6. So you will go to T, small t. And from 6 you will go to 6 plus 2, 8, which means you will jump to small o. And from O you will jump to 10. 10 is not there, so we will stop here. So this is the output that we will get. G, T, P, T, O. Capital G, capital T, capital P, small t, small o. Okay, let's look at the next example. Here we have S of ::1. So what happens if the step size is negative? If the step size is negative, start and stop remain the same. We just travel from backwards. We start traveling from backwards. So the traveling will happen from back to front. Rest all things will remain same. Okay. So here what will happen? Again the default value of start will remain as 0. Still the stopping point will remain as 10. It means we have to travel all the way from 0 to 9. Okay. 0 to 9, but we will travel backwards. We will travel backwards since the step size is negative. So what will happen? Firstly, we will print the character N. Then O. Step size is -1. So one character jump will be there. N, O, H, T, Y, P, then E, then T, then A, then G. So the entire string will be reversed. And this is the standard way of reversing a string in Python. You can just slice it without giving the starting and stopping point because that are the default values. But you can make the step size as -1. Step size -1 means you will travel from right to left instead of left to right. Okay. So whenever you have negative step size, you will travel from right to left. And hence the answer will be the reversed string of the entire content. Like the reverse string will be the output. And this is the standard way. If you want to reverse a string, you can do it like this. Okay. So this is what negative step size means. Now let's look at what if you have negative indexing inside slicing. Okay, this is like more advanced concept, but the overall concept remains same. So let's look at that. So we have a string here, Python. The string is python Python. So here the indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, the indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the length of string is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. And let's look at the first example. In the first example, we are just printing s of -1. So if you are not adding any colons, at all, this is not slicing. This is not even slicing, right? This is just indexing. And indices are -1. So what are negative indices in the same string? The negative indices are -1, -2. Let me write them a little bit far apart. python. The positive indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Length of string is 6. And the negative indices are -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. These are positive indices, these are negative indices. We can actually use the negative indices while doing slicing as well. So first example is s of -1. This is not even slicing because we did not add any colon. This is just indexing. What are we like? We are indexing -1th element, which is n. So only the character n will be given. The output will be n, the last character. Okay. The second example is s of -3 to -1. S of -3 to -1. Here the step size is not given. So by default, the step size will be taken as 1. And if the step size is positive, the default value of step size is +1. If the step size is positive, we will go from left to right only. So we will travel from left to right. And from what position to what position? The start value is given as -3. And the stopping point is given as -1. So we will start at -3 and we will stop at -1. But the stopping point is exclusive. It is not added. So we will stop at -2. Okay. So only this string will be taken HO left to right. Since we did not add a step size, the positive one, like the default step size will be taken +1. So we will travel from left to right and we are going from -3 to -1. So -3 to -1 means H and O will be taken. So the answer will be HO. Okay. And what if you write :-3? Just write colon and -3. S of, this is like string S. Colon and then -3. It means what? Default step size will be taken because step size is not added. Only start and stop are added. Stopping point is given as -3 and start is not given. So the default value of start will be taken, which is 0. And the stopping point is given to -3, given as -3. So we'll stop at -3. And since the default value of start is taken as 0, we will start at 0. And we have to stop at -3. And -3 is exclusive. So we'll stop here. So the string taken will be PYT, capital PYT. So this will be the output. Okay, so let us take one more example. What if I write like this? S of 1 and then -2. You can do that as well. Here the starting position is 1, which is this character, this particular index. Starting point is 1 and the stopping point is -2, which means stopping point is this. But the ending point is not added. So we'll stop here. So here you will get YTH like this. Okay. So you can use start, stop, and you can skip some of the parts. You can make step size negative. Step size negative means you will just iterate from right to left. But if you don't add step size, default positive step size, which means +1 will be taken. If the step size is positive, you travel left to right, and step size is negative means you travel right to left. Default value of start is 0 and the default value of stop is length of the string. Okay, so this is how slicing works, and the same slicing concepts will be used in list as well, like other sequences as well. So I hope you understand them. Okay, this is negative indexing in slicing. And there is an edge behavior in slicing. What happens is, if you go out of the bounds, which means you are giving an index which does not even exist, then the Python interpreter will not give you an error. The Python does not give an error. Be very mindful. If you write out of bound values, which the indices which do not exist, it will automatically tap at the last character. Even in the beginning or at the end. Okay, so like edge cases are not handled, like you will not get an error. And like let's see an example here. The example is the string s is G8E gate. So here the indices are what? 0, 1, 2, 3, and negative indices are -1, -2, -3, -4. In the first example, we are saying s of 2 to 10. Step size is not given, which means we will travel left to right. Step size will be 1, and starting point is 2, and ending point is 10. 10 does not even exist. Okay, even 9 does not exist. 8, 7, 6, 5 doesn't exist. So it will not give an error. It will just cap at the last position. It will stop at the last character. Okay, so it will not give an error, and the output will be just TE. That's all. Okay, it will stop at the last character. And similarly, let's say you wrote s of 10 colon. What does this mean? You have to start at 10. You have to stop at. The default value of stop will be what? Length. Length here is what? 4 characters. So stopping point will be 4, and the step size is 1. Default value of step size is 1, right? So here what we are doing, we are starting at 10 and stopping at 4. That is not even possible, right? If you are traveling left to right, you cannot start at 10 and stop at 4. That is not even possible, and hence you will just get an empty string. Still here you will not get an error. The output will be an empty string. This slice does not exist, so nothing will be taken out. And hence slicing generally never gives an error. If you are out of bounds, you will just get an empty string. Okay, so the output will be an empty string. Nothing will be returned, or an empty string will be returned. Note that Python does not throw an error for out of range indices and slices. So if you go out of range in slices, you will not get an error. Here, like in the second example, empty string will be printed, right? How do you print an empty string? You cannot print anything, so nothing will be printed, but there will be no error. Okay, so this is what happens when you slice strings in Python. So now let's look at string operators. What are all the operators that can be operated on strings, and how do the operators behave with strings in Python? So we know all these operators. We will now just see how the particular operators work on strings, because see, it is very easy to see the behavior of arithmetic operators on integers. Because if you write 3 plus 2, addition will be done. But if you write string A plus string B, what will happen? Right? So the behavior of operators in strings is slightly different from numbers. In numbers it is very easy, but in strings the behavior is different. So let us see. If you use the plus operator between two strings, it will not give you an error. What it does is, it will concatenate the two strings. Concatenate means it will merge the two strings one after the other. So if you write string S1, and if you write a string S2, and if you write S1 plus S2, it will give you another string in which string S1 will be there, and immediately after that string S2 will be there. So for example here, so this is the example of concatenation. If you do string hello plus string world, you will get the string hello world. There is no space added or nothing. It will just concatenate both the strings and a single string will be returned. Okay, and I told you strings are immutable. So this thing is not done in place. See, when you write hello plus world, hello is stored in memory somewhere, and world is stored in memory somewhere. And when you add them in some other memory location, you are writing hello world, the complete concatenated string. It is not done in place. These strings are not changing at their memory location. At some other memory location, you are just concatenating both of them and storing them. Okay. So this is what happens if you use the plus operator between two strings. Now if you use the multiplication operator between two strings, between a string and an integer, you cannot multiply two strings. This is not allowed. This will give you an error. This is not allowed. Okay. So this is not allowed. You can multiply a string with an integer. You can multiply a string with an integer like that. What it does is, it will just repeat the same string those many times. So another string will be created in which you will have the same string repeated 3 times. This is what multiplication operator does to strings. So if you do string into an integer, let's say hi into 3, you will get hi. Okay, so it will just repeat it. So this is called repetition. Okay, so these are the first two operators, plus and multiplication. Square brackets, we already know it is used for indexing. So if we say string Python ka zeroth index, like what is there on the zeroth index? Capital P. So capital P will be returned. And similarly, we know if we use a colon, single colon or double colons inside square brackets, this is called slicing. So if we say string Python like start is 1 and end is 4, stop is 4. So the slice from 1 to 4 will be taken. 1 is y and 2, 3. So y, t, h will be taken and y, t, h will be the output. So indexing and slicing we already know. Next is the membership operator in. So if you use the membership operator with a string, with two strings, it will just check that the first string is a substring of the second string or not. What do we mean by substring? So let's say we write a string get Python. So a substring is a continuous sequence from this string, continuous. Like for example, you take from here to till here, or you can take the entire string also, or you can take the empty string also, right? Empty string is also a substring. It is just like the subset. So and any continuous stream, like if you write EP, but you cannot skip characters. You cannot say G and then E and then N. That is not allowed. That is called subsequence. These concepts we will see later in algorithms. Substring is what? Continuous part that is a part of this particular string. So if you use the membership operator with strings, it will just check that this particular string is a substring of this string or not. So if you write th in Python, it will just see that like this particular string is present inside the string as it is or not. Okay, there should not be any breaks. As it is present or not. So th is present as it is. So you will get true as the output. Okay. Similarly, not in is the reverse of the like in operator. So it will give you false if substring is present. This will give you true if substring is present. So Java not in Python. Java is not present in Python. This string is not there, so you will get true. Okay. So this is how membership operators work with strings in Python. Next is equality. So two strings are considered equal if they contain the exact same sequence of characters. Case sensitive. Python is a case sensitive programming language. Even if one of the character is different, even big letter or small letter, you will get different strings. Two strings are equal only if they are exactly same, including all the cases, spaces, new line, everything. If they are exactly same in order, then they are considered equal. So string ABC is equal to string ABC. Yes, they are equal, exactly same. So you will get true. And similarly, not equal is what? If anything is different, they are not equal. So string ABC is different from string capital A, capital C. This is a different string, this is a different string. So here you will get true because these two strings are different and they are not equal. Okay. Okay. So after equality and inequality, now let's look at less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to. So in Python, how do we compare two strings? Which one is greater? So that is done using lexicographical comparison. So lexicographical order means dictionary order. So the order in which the words are present in a dictionary is lexicographical order. So in Python, like because Python is a case sensitive language, in dictionary generally we don't care about case, okay? But in Python we have to care about case, like is it the capital letter or the small letter? So that is compared using the ASCII values. Now in ASCII values, what happens? The ASCII value, like you just need to remember a few ASCII values, not more. So the ASCII value of capital A to capital Z. So just remember this, that the ASCII value of capital A is 65 and ASCII value of capital B will be 66 and so on, right? And capital Z will be, you can just keep on adding like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So after 65 plus 26 will be what? 91. So Z will be 90. Z will be 90. Okay. So capital A starts from 65. Small a starts from 97. Small a starts from 97. So capital A is 65, small a is 97, 98 and so on. So small z will become what? You can add 97 and 26 and check. So 9 and 6, 13, 10, 11, 12, 123. So small z will be 122. Okay. Small capital A to small z, capital A to capital Z will be 65 to 90. Small a to small z will be 97 to 122. Okay, and even you can remember 0 to 9. So 0 is 48, 1 is 49 and so on. So 9 will become 57. So these characters, if you remember, capital A 65, small a 97 and 0 is 48. These are the ASCII values, like the internal representation or the integer representation of these characters. So all the strings are compared using the ASCII values. And even in Python, if you need to check, if you forget, like you don't need to remember the ASCII values of everything. But you can just remember these three things. Capital A is 65, small a is 97 and 0 is 48. Even if you don't remember the values, just remember the fact that firstly the digits come in the lower order. Firstly the digits come, then capital A to capital Z comes, and then small a to small z comes. Just remember that, okay? And in Python, if you need to know, like for every character what is the ASCII value, you can use the ORD function, ORD. That gives you the ASCII value. And inside here, you just need to pass in a string a single character. If you pass more characters, it will give you error. Just pass in the inside a string any character, let's say capital A. So it will give you the ASCII value of capital A, which is 95. Okay, and so on. So you can actually ask the like ASCII value of any character, like 0. So you'll get 48, like that. And similarly, if you want to convert the ASCII value into the character itself, you can use the CHR function. So ORD is used to convert character to ASCII value, and the CHR function, char function, is used to convert ASCII value to the character. So if I pass like this, CHR 98, then I will get small a. Okay, so you can use this. So all the comparison actually happens using the ASCII values. So now let's see, like let's say if we have strings capital A, B, C and small a, B, C. So firstly the ASCII values of capital A and small a will be compared. The ASCII value of capital A is smaller than the small a. Small a starts from 98, right? So basically the ASCII value of capital A is smaller. Always like the digits come first and then capital A to capital Z and then small a to small z. And the space is even lower than this. Space is the lowest. Space character is the lowest ASCII. Okay, this is the order you can remember. Space, digits, capital A to capital Z, small a to small z. So what will happen now? Capital A has lower ASCII value and hence string ABC will be greater than the string capital ABC. Now let us say if you have strings capital A, capital B, C and capital A, capital B, D. So here capital A and capital A are same. Now we will compare the next character, capital B and capital B. They are also same, so we will compare the next character, small c and small d. So small c and small d mein, small d has higher ASCII value. Okay, in order, like if you have small characters, the higher, like they start from one value and then they keep on incrementing. So small d has higher ASCII value. So this string will be greater than this string. Okay, and like that only. Like let's say if you have a string like 932 in a string, and if you have another string, let's say 8371. So although the number 8371 is greater than the number 932, the integer 8371 is greater than the integer 932. But in a string, what will happen? The ASCII value of 9 is greater than the ASCII value of 8. And hence 932 string is greater than the string 8371. So using the ASCII values, we compare the lexicographical order of two strings. And based on the ASCII values, you can compare two strings. Okay. So again, like you can use all the operators greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, the same way. But here you will check the lexicographical order. Okay. And like if two strings are equal, let's say if you have ABC greater than equal to ABC, since they are equal, this will give you true. But if you just write greater than, then you will get false because they are equal. This will give you false. Okay, so same logic applies, but just remember you will need to compare the ASCII values in lexicographical order. So if you compare apple and banana, so B is greater than A. The ASCII value of B is greater than the ASCII value of A, and hence apple is less than banana, so it is correct. And if you write zebra is greater than lion, so ASCII value of Z is greater than the ASCII value of L. Obviously Z comes after L, and hence zebra is greater than lion. Now if you compare only the string A and only the string B, B is greater than A. So A is less than equal to B is correct. And if you write apple is greater than equal to capital Apple, so the ASCII value of small a is greater than the ASCII value of capital A, and hence small apple is greater than the capital A starting apple. This is also correct. So that is how you use the comparison operator or the relational operators when you want to compare two strings in Python. So these are all the operators, okay, that you can use on Python strings. Now let us look at some important string methods. Now a string provides a various lots and lots of methods, actually hundreds of methods. Not all of them are important as at this point of time. Coming to Python basics, you just need to know a few of them which are very important, and they are important for competitive exams as well. So let's see them. These are we will only discuss the important functions which are needed for on strings, okay, and only these functions you will be using in day-to-day life. So first is case conversion methods. So if you want to change the case of a string, let's say you want to change the string ABC into capital ABC, okay, or you just want to change the first character to capital. So if you want to do case changing, like capital to small, small to capital, then you can use the case conversion methods. First one is upper. So for every string, any string, you can use str.upper. Str here is the variable name or the string itself. So if you write string ABC dot upper, means you are applying the upper function on this string. Then you will get another string that will be capital ABC. And this will work on variables as well. So if you have a string S, it is stored in string S, then you can use directly s.upper like this. This will also give you the capital string ABC. And now you can actually print it, or you can store it in some other variable as well, s2 equal to s.upper. So now s2 will contain capital ABC like that. Okay. So if you want to change the case, if you want to convert all the lower case characters to capital case, you can use the upper function. And if the string is already uppercase, it will not change. Even if one character is lowercase like this, let's say A, B, C, space, D, E, F. And if you do upper on it, everything will be changed to uppercase. All the small characters will be changed to capital characters. So it will become A, B, C, D, E, F like this. Okay. Similarly, there is a lower function, just like upper function, you have a lower function, LOWER, lower function. That will convert all the capital characters to small characters. Then we have capitalize function. Capitalize function capitalizes first character, only the first character of the string, only the first character. Even if you have spaces. So if you have like this, ABC, let's say ABC space DEF, and you use capitalize function on it. It will just convert the first character to capital. So it will become ABC space DEF. Everything else remains as it is. Okay, so if you use it on small hello, it will become like this. Next is dot title. So title function capitalizes each word. It capitalizes each word. So instead of capitalize, if you use title, it will convert it to title case. Title case means every word has the first character capital. So it will become ABC. And then space is there. So new word is started. So you will have DEF like this. Okay. So title function will change it to title case. Next we have swap case. Swap case does what? It will make the capital letters small and the small letters capital. So if you use it on this PYTHON, here PTH are capital, YON are small. So if you use the swap case function, it will swap the case. Capital will become small, small will become capital. Okay, again you don't need to remember all of them, just have them in mind. Upper and lower are slightly meaningful, they are more used. Otherwise you can just remember upper, lower, capitalized, title and swap case. Okay, Once you understand them, it is not that difficult. And again, coming to exam point of view, they are not all important. Just go through them once, that's all. Okay, next is searching and finding methods. So if you want to find a substring inside a string, where it is present. If you just want to check that a particular string is a substring of another string or not, you can use the in operator. We know that. So if I do, let's say th in Python, I will get true. I will only get true or false if I use the membership operator. But if I have to exactly find where it is present or from which index it exactly starts, for that you can use these methods. They are searching methods. Okay. So first is find. So str.find substring. So if I say Python dot find function, and inside that I pass another string, let's say th. So it will give me the index of first occurrence, the first position where this particular substring is present, the first occurrence where this particular substring is present. So what is the first index where this particular substring is present? At index 2. It starts at index 2, right? Th starts at index 2. So it will give me the index 2. So if you do hello.find L, so the first occurrence of L is what? First occurrence of L is at character number 2. So the index 2 will be returned. Okay. And if that particular substring is not present, it will give you -1. If that particular substring is not present, the answer will be -1. Okay, this is the find function. Then there is rfind. Rfind gives you the last occurrence. Normal find function will give you the first occurrence. Rfind starts searching from the right, and hence it will give you the last occurrence. Okay, so if you do hello.rfindL, it will give you the last occurrence of that particular character. So it is at index 3. So 3 will be returned. Then there is a index function. Index function and find function are similar. In find function, if the substring is not present, it will give you -1 as the answer. But if in the index function, if the substring is not present, it will give you error. It will raise an error. So if you want to raise an error if that particular substring is not present, if you want to stop the program to run, then you can use the find function. So if you have more rigorous tasks, and if you want to stop the program if that particular substring is not present, you can use the find function. If you don't want to stop the program, if you want to keep it running, and if you want to get -1 as the answer, you can use the find function. Otherwise, find and index are same. They both give you the first occurrence. So again, hello.index e will give you the first occurrence. First occurrence is at index 1, and so 1 will be the answer. Next is count. So the count function gives you how many times that particular substring is present in that string. So it finds the number of non-overlapping occurrences. They should not overlap with each other. So for example, let's say I say t dot find tt. Then this tt will match with this tt. So this is one count. Then again this tt also matches, but this is overlapping. So this overlapping thing will not be taken. Then again you will start from the next character only. This also match, this also match. So you will get 3 as the answer. It will only find the number of non-overlapping occurrences. So banana.count a will give you how many times a is present. So 1, 2, 3 times a is present. So count function will give you how many times it is present. So 3 is the answer. Next is starts with. So starts with and ends with function give you a boolean output, true or false. So it will just check that the that particular string starts with that substring or not. It should not be just any substring. It should start with that. So if you say Python starts with py, Python actually starts with py, right? So it will give you true. But if you say Python starts with on ya fir th, then it will give you false because it has to start with that. And similarly ends with will tell you that it ends with that particular substring or not. So you can check python.ends with on. So here Python ends with on and hence it will give you true. Okay. So if you have to find a particular substring, starts with, ends with, you can use these functions. Find and index are almost same. Index will just raise error. Find will not raise an error. It will give you -1. Rfind is just reverse find. And then count is number of times it is present or not. Okay. So these are searching and finding methods in strings. Next we have replacing and splitting. If you want to replace a substring with another substring. So let's say inside the string Python, I want to replace this th with abc. Then I will get the string pyabcon. I want to do something like that. But again, strings in Python are immutable. We are doing, none of this is in place. We are not changing the string in that particular memory location. Okay, another copy of another string is created whenever we use any of these functions. Okay, remember that. If if this is present in a memory location, this will be present in another memory location. Okay, this string will not be touched. It is immutable. So if you have to replace a particular substring, you can just use the replace function. So if you have to do this, you can just say, let's say Python string is present in the string s. So you can just say s dot replace the string th with the string abc. This will give you another string. The string s will remain as it is. This will just give you another string. Now you can assign it to a string s only, or you can assign it to some other string also. If you assign it to some other string, then the original string will remain as it is, and in string s2 you will have this string pyabcon. Okay, so it replaces all the occurrences. Wherever that particular string is present, it will replace all of them. Okay, so if you have th multiple times, all of them will be replaced with the new string. So if you say ABB dot replace A to C, so the character A will be replaced with the character C, and the output will be CCBB. Next is split function. We have already seen the split function in the initial lecture, right? In the input lecture. Okay, so what it does, it splits the string on space characters. It splits the string into a list by a white space. So if I say there is a string containing ABC space DEF space GHI, then I use the split function on it, split. Then it will split it into 3 strings. You will get 3 strings. ABC as a different string, DEF as a different string, and GHI as a different string. And you can take it in a list or whatever, okay? You can convert it into a list as well if you cast it to a list. That we will see in the list lecture. So split function gives you a list containing all the elements this particular string splitted by the space character. And similarly in the split function, if you pass a particular character, or even a string, then that particular string will be splitted using that substring. So let me give you an example. Let's say I say python python dot split th. Using the string th you have to split. So th is present here, th is present here. So this th will go away, this th will go away. And you will get the list containing the first string py, then the second string on py, then the third string on. Like that. So if you pass a string inside the split function, it will split on that particular substring. So here in ABC, if you split on comma, comma will be deleted and ABC will be given separately. Then just like split function, we have an R split function. Just like the split function, we have an R split function. R split function only splits from the right side. Only splits from the right side and only splits once. Generally the split function actually splits the entire string. Wherever it is present, it will replace all. But R split function will only split at one substring from the right. Okay, again, it is not very meaningful, like you can skip it, but you should know what split function does. This is very important. Let me tell you what all functions are important. This is important, this is important, replace is important. You should know that. R split is not that important. Even in the previous slide, let's do that. R find is not that important, but find is very important. Index is important, count is important. Starts with and ends with are not that important. You should know, but find, index and count, they are very important for exams. And similarly here, upper and lower are very important. Upper, lower, even title, these are very important. Okay, so upper, lower, title you should know. Similarly here, find, index and count you should know. Here you should know replace, split and split with a substring. R split is what? Like let's say you have a string like this, A, B, C, and you have written R split on comma. Okay, and you have passed how many strings do you want? How many splits do you want? Actually in R split you can pass how many splits do you want as well. So here we have passed, we want only one split. So from the right side it will see and it will only split it once. So from the right side the first comma is this. So it will split here and it will stop because you have to split only one time. So the answer will be A comma B and another string will contain C. Okay, so this is how it works. Again, not very important. And the last is partition function. So partition function will split the string. So generally what happens, the split function will remove the splitting substring completely. It will remove it. Here when we split it using th is removed. But what if in the list I want th as well? Then instead of split, you can use the partition function. So on the same string, if I use the partition function instead of split, it is very much like split only. But here you will get the th as well. So here the answer will be py, then the second element will be th, then the third element will be on, py, then the fourth element will be th again, and the fifth element will be on, like this. So th will also be included. Generally split function does not include that. If you want to include the space or whatever, then you can use the partition function. So if you do a equal to b dot partition equal to, you will get a equal to and b separately. Okay, so these are splitting or replacing functions. The important ones are replace, split and split with a substring. Okay, now let's look at white space handling methods. So if you want to remove the white space from a string, like starting with spaces or some tab characters like spaces, tab characters, new line characters, if you want to remove any kind of white space, we will see what white space is in like the escape sequence lecture, in the same lecture only. Okay, so essentially if a string is starting from spaces or in between you have lot of spaces, and if you want to remove all that, you can use the white space handling methods. The important one is the strip method. This one is very important. So what a strip method does, it removes the white spaces from starting and from the beginning. So it removes from both the ends. It removes the white space or spaces present from the beginning and from the ending. So if you have a space in the string in the beginning or at the end or both will be removed. So if you have space, hello, space, and if you just apply dot strip, any number of spaces can be there. It will just remove the spaces from starting and beginning and your new string will be ready. Similarly, the lstrip function only removes it from the left side. Like if you have a space from the left, that will be removed, and your rstrip method only removes it from the right. So if some space is present at the end, that will be removed. So this is how you can use the strip method, lstrip method or rstrip method if you want to remove the spaces from beginning or end in a string. Next is how you can join two strings. If you want to join two strings, first is you can use the addition operator like this. You can use like ABC plus DEF. This can be used to join two strings and the joined string is created. And if you don't want to use the addition operator, you can use the join function as well. And join function is used if you want to have multiple strings that you want to join. Like if you want to join multiple strings and that too using a special character. So let us say we have a special use case in which, let's say in a list I have multiple strings ABC, DEF, GHI, and I want to join all of them. The one way and I want to join and I don't want to add any character between them. Then one way I can do it is using this ABC plus DEF plus GHI. I can write a for loop and using that I can use the addition operator to do that. But what if I want to join them and insert a hyphen between them? The final string that I want is ABC hyphen DEF hyphen GHI, like this. This is the string that I want. So I want to join all of them and between them I want to insert a particular character or a space or anything. Then what we can do is I can just write hyphen dot join and then the list. Let's say this list is A. What it will do, it will join this entire list, it will join all the strings present in the entire list and it will add this particular character or whatever string you write here between the joins. So you will have ABC hyphen DEF hyphen GHI as the output. Here is another example. If you have so the syntax is separator dot join and then the list. Okay, so you first have to write the separator. that separator will be added between all the joins. So if you do hyphen dot join A and B, the output will be A hyphen B. The most important use case of the join operator is you want to join them using spaces. Okay, let's say you want to join these using spaces. Then you can just do space character dot join and then the list. So the final string will be ABC space DEF space GHI. And if you don't want to add anything in between them, you can even use the empty string. You can say empty string dot join A. Then it will join and it will not add anything in between. So the output will be just ABC DEF GHI. Okay, without any spaces or anything like that. So you can use the join function if you have multiple strings to join. Like if you have 2, 3 or any number of strings, you can join all of them and create a single string, and you can give the separator as well. This is also a very important function. So these are all the methods that are present in strings. There are a few more. The last one is content testing methods. So if you want to check what type of content or what type of characters are present in a string, you can use the content testing methods. So for example, if you want to check, is the string containing only alphanumeric character? Alphanumeric means characters and digits. Characters and digits only, no special characters, spaces, $, hyphen, underscore, nothing. If the string contains only alphanumeric characters, which means characters are alphabetic, A to Z, small a to Z, capital A to Z, then you can use is alpha function. So okay, firstly, alphabetic is different and alphanumeric is different. Alphabetic means small a to small z and capital A to capital Z. And alphanumeric means small a to small z, capital A to capital Z and 0 to 9. And then we have third, only numeric. Numeric means only 0 to 9. So if you have to check only alphabets are present, then you use is alpha function. If you have to check only alphanumeric are present, like digits and characters, then you use is alpha num, because this is alphanumeric, is alpha num function. And if you have to check if only digits are present or only numbers are present, then you can use is digit function. Okay, so if we check string ABC dot is alpha, because it contains only alphabets, it will give you true. Even capital letters will be okay. So if you check 1, 2, 3 dot is digit, this string only contains digits, so you will get true. Even if one character is present, then it will give you false. Similarly here ABC 1, 2, 3 is alphanumeric because only digits and numbers are present, so dot is alpha num will give you true. So is alpha function checks all characters are alphabetic, is digit function checks all characters are digits, is alpha num, I made a mistake, it is alnum, ALNUM, the function is different. This function is actually ALNUM, is alnum. Okay, this is the function, alphanumeric. And you can remember it this way, all of them are like same number of characters, is alpha, is digit, is alnum, all of them are 7 characters, okay. Then if you want to check the case of a string, is it all lowercase, all uppercase, then you can check is lower will return true if all the characters are lowercase, and is upper will return true if all the characters are uppercase. Okay, and you can check that a particular string only contains white spaces or not. White spaces are what? Any kind of spaces, which means a space character or tab character. On keyboard when we press tab, if you want to insert tab in a string, you can just add \t. Okay, we will see this in escape character lecture. So escape characters, what are escape characters? \t, \n. This is the new line character, this is the tab character, and space is just the space. Because there is no way to visualize tab character. Okay, or like how do we write the tab character? We can press the tab key, that is also okay. But if you have to because user will not, another program will not be able to understand that you entered tab character or you just entered 2 spaces. Because I told you in any editor there is a predefined rule. A tab character will be either 2 spaces long or 4 spaces long. But tab itself is also a symbol, right? It is a character. So if you press the tab key, let's say 4 spaces came in, and that is present in the string. How will another program know that you entered 4 spaces or the tab character? So to differentiate between these two, if you have to press the tab character, if you have to enter the tab character inside the string, you can use \t. And similarly, if you have to insert the new line character, or if you have to go to the new line, you can either press the enter key, that will go to the new line, or if in the same string, if you want to enter the new line character, you can write \n. Okay, \n means the new line character. So these are all spaces. These are all called white spaces. So if you have to check that a particular string only contains spaces or white spaces, you can use the isSpace function. So this string contains a space, a new line character and a tab character. All of them are spaces only, and hence it will give you true. This is not very important coming to your exams. Like the important functions are is alphanumeric is important, is digit is important, and is lower and is upper, anyway, because we know the upper and lower function, is lower and is upper is also okay. But these are important only, okay. So these are all the methods present in strings. Again, to just summarize, the important methods that you need to know are upper, lower and title for case changing. Then find, index and count. Find and index if you want to find a particular occurrence of a substring. Then count if you want to count the number of times, how many times a substring occurs. Then replace if you want to replace a substring with another substring. Split if you want to split a string on a particular character or a substring. And split split with a substring if you want to split on a particular substring. And by default, if you don't pass anything, it will split on space. Okay. And then the strip function removes the white spaces or spaces from the beginning and from the end. And then is digit and is alphanumeric, just to check that the number contains only digits or only alphanumeric characters or not. Okay. So these are some of the important methods in Python strings. Okay, now let's see what are escape characters in Python. So escape characters are a special sequence of characters used to represent invisible or reserved characters within strings. So if you have to represent some invisible characters, we use escape characters. For example, I told you tab character. When we press the tab key, inside a string I want to insert a tab key or register a tab key. For example, like this. I want a string ABC and then tab. Tab is a character, right? It is equivalent of 2 spaces, 4 spaces, whatever. But it is a special character. So how do I write it? So I can write it using \t. \t. Like this. Okay. So this is what escape characters are. Escape characters always start with a \. And they are a group of characters. So \t, \n. Although you are writing 2 characters, but they are considered as a single character. This is the tab, this is the new line character, and so on. Okay. So special sequences of characters used to represent invisible or reserved characters within strings. They cannot be typed directly. How will you type the tab character? You cannot. So they cannot be typed directly. That is why we need to use the escape sequences for them. They start with a \. This is a character that is present on your keyboard to be interpreted in a special way. Okay. So if you this is what escape characters are. There are a lot of escape characters in Python. There is a huge list. We don't need to remember all of them. Only these ones are important for us. Okay. \n means new line character. It is the new line character, which means the enter key. The cursor will go in the next line. So if I write string s is ABC \n def. Okay, which means this string contains ABC and then the new line character and then def. So when I print it, the output will be ABC and in the new line you will have def, like that. Okay, so if you have to enter new line character, you can use \n. Similarly, \t is the tab character. Okay, tab, it will enter a tab between these two. Then \single quote. See, you cannot add a single quote directly in a string. If you are creating the string using a single quote, think about it. It's like we are going in metaverse. So if I want to create a string using single quotes, but inside the string I have another single quote. Inside the string itself we have a single quote. Then what will happen? Let's say I have the string is like this, ABC single quote def. This is my string that I need to store. This is one single string. Now this character is used to close the string also. So if I write this like this, ABC quote def, the compiler, the interpreter, Python interpreter will think the string ended here. And what is this? This is garbage. It will give you an error, right? How does it know where the string ends? So there are two ways to do it. Either if you have a single quote, you use the double quotes. This is fine. Okay. Even here, like how will the compiler know? Like compiler might think you are starting another string from here, right? So it is never suggested that you write a quote inside a string, because the compiler will not be able to understand what you are trying to write. You are starting another string or not. That is why if you want to insert a quote inside a string, you have to silence it or escape it. To escape it, you can just do like this. You can just write string s is ABC / quote then DEF. So here now the compiler knows this particular quote is not the end of the string. Instead, this is considered as a single character quote. This / will be ignored. This / is just to silent the behavior of the quote, and hence this string will be treated as just ABC quote DEF like this. Okay. Even you can do it using double quotes as well. This is also fine. So here this / quote will be considered as a single quote. And this is just added so that the compiler knows you are trying to enter the quote character inside the string. This is what escaping means. And similarly, if you want to add double quote also, you can do it like this: ABC / double quote DEF. So now this / means this double quote, the behavior of it is silenced. This is a simple character that I added. So this string is equivalent of writing ABC double quote DEF like that. Okay. So if you want to add a single quote or a double quote, you can use this escape sequence. And then what if you want to add a / itself? This is again like super meta universe. Okay, why? Because what will happen? I want to add a string in which we have a / itself like this. I want this string to be stored ABC / DEF. How do I do it? Or let's say even like, because / D you don't know, let's say I give you a complicated example. ABC / NEF. This is the string that I want to store. If I write it like this, if I say S is equal to ABC / NEF, what will happen? /n we know is the new line character. Now the compiler is confused. Like it will think that /n is the new line character. To solve a problem, you introduced a symbol. But now what if you wanted the same symbol inside the string? It is another problem, right? So to solve that problem, you need to silence the / itself. You need to silence the / itself. So how can you do that? You can write the string like this. S is equal to ABC / NEF. So now the compiler will know this / is trying to silence the behavior of this /. And what was this / doing? It was trying to silence n, which means /n is another character, new line character. So since you silented the behavior of this /, now it will, this two / mean a single / character. So this will just become ABC / NEF. This is the string that will be present. Now this /n will not be treated as a special character because two / mean a single /. Okay, so this is also an escape character. These are all special characters in Python, okay? And they cannot be typed directly inside a string, so we need some special notation for them. Now coming to the length function in Python, for any string we can calculate its length using the len function already present. This will work for any collection, for list and tuple as well. We will see that later. So length function returns the number of characters present in the string, that's all. So if you have a string like gate 2 to 2025, so how many characters does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters. So if you just use length of s, you will get the number of characters, which is 8. So if you print the length of string, you will get 8 as the output, okay? It is just like the type function. Type function in Python is used to check the type. This will give you class str, right? Right. Similarly, like type, you have length. Length will give you the length, number of characters. Here, how many characters do we have? H, E, L, L, O. Now /n is a single character. It is a single character because it is escaped. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So total 11 characters because /n is a single character. It is not two different characters. We type it using two different characters, but it is a single character. So the overall length is 11 characters here. Now even spaces are counted. Even spaces are counted as characters. So here we have 2 spaces in beginning, 1, 2 and 2 spaces in the end. So how many characters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 spaces in the beginning, 2 spaces in the end. So overall length is 9 characters, not just 5 characters, okay? Spaces are also counted and hence the output is 9. So length of a string, len, len function will give you the length of a string, how many characters it present. Okay. Now let's look at a few examples on strings in Python. So this is first example. You are given a string S, GATE exam 2025. You want to print S 4 to 9. So this is string slicing, okay? So let us see the string. GATE exam 2025. The length of the string is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 characters. The indices are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is the indexing. So you want the string from 4 to 9. 4 to 9. So you will start at 4. Start value is given as 4. We are using only one colon. So second colon is not given, which means the step size will be the default step size. Stopping point is 9. And stopping point is exclusive, that is not included. So we will stop at 8 only, from start till stop. And the step is not given, so default value, which is 1, will be taken. So, and since the step is positive, you will travel left to right. So 4 to 9, left to right, you will take everything E, X, A, M and 2. So the output will be exam 2. Okay, so if you print S 4 to 9, you will get exam 2, which is option B. Okay. Moving on to the next example, it is multiple select type question. So you are given a string as GATE DA 2025. Okay. Cool. GATE DA 2025. They are asking which of the following expressions return true as the answer. Now all of them actually give you a boolean output, true or false. So how many of them will give you true as the answer? That's what they are asking. So GATE DA 2025. This is the string given. S dot is alpha. Alpha checks that all alphabets are there or not. It should contain all alphabets, that's all, not alphanumeric. This particular string is alphanumeric because we have alphabets and digits also, but not only alphabets. If you only have alphabets, then this will give you true. So is alpha will give you false here, it will not give you true because you have digits also. So this will not give you true, this will give you false. Next is S dot is alphanumeric, alnum. So it is an alphanumeric string, right? It only contains alphabets and digits. So this will give you true. Third is ends with 2025. Does this string end with 2025? Yes, it ends with 2025. So this will give you true. S dot starts with GATE. But see, it starts with small GATE. The option is capital GATE. And Python is a case sensitive language. This GATE is different from this GATE. And hence this will give you false. It will not give you true. Because this G was capital. So this will give you false. So correct options are B and C. So always be mindful. Check that the case is correct or not. This is the next question. Evaluate the length of the string after executing. So you just have to find the length of this particular string. You have to print the length of this string. GATE plus 2025 into 2. So what will happen here? We will have to see the operator precedence because we have two operators. GATE plus string 2025 into 2. Now they are both arithmetic operator, but the precedence of multiplication is higher than addition. So firstly this will be executed. Now we know that we can multiply a number, like we can multiply a string with a number. What happens? This will give you like the same string repeated as those many times. So it will become 2025, 2025, one after the other. Now what does the addition operator do to two strings? It will just concatenate them. So this will give you GATE 2025, 2025. So the length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 characters. So the length printed here will be 12. Okay. 12 characters. So the output will be 12. Now here are a few exercises that you can solve on your own. They are all on strings. Whatever we discussed using the functions or whatever the operators in Python, you can solve these exercises. We will again solve some of them in the coming demo. So in the demo, we'll solve a few exercises, and like before seeing the demo, try to solve them on your own. Try to write programs in Python on your own on strings in Python. So now let's look at the demo and let's look at all the functions that we discussed and the exercises here. Okay, so now let's see a demo on strings in Python. So first is creating strings. As we have seen in class, we can create strings in Python using single quotes and double quotes, and we can use triple quotes if you want multi-line strings. So let's create a few strings. S1 is the string hello. This is using single quotes, and I can create another string using double quotes, which is world, and I can create another string which is a multi-line string. So for multi-line string, you can either use 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes. Both are okay. So if I write this is a, and in the new line I write multi-line string. I'm taking the same example as we saw in class. Okay, and I close it here. And if I now print S1 and S2 and S3, I'll get the output. S1 is the string hello, S2 is the string world, and S3 is the string. This is a multi-line string, and you can see here there is a new line character here. So there is a, like the cursor goes in the new line. So the new line character is present inside the string itself. And there is no difference actually, like you can create using single line or double line. How? Like if I write a single line hello and I can check its equality with the double quotes hello, both the strings are exactly same. It doesn't matter you're using single quotes or double quotes, the string remains same. You can use any one of them. Okay, and similarly in multi-line also you can create a string like this. Let's say hi and then hello using single quotes, and I can compare it with double quotes string hi, and then in the new line I'm writing hello. Okay, so these two strings are also same. It doesn't matter you're using single quotes or double quotes, the string remains the same if the contents are exactly same. Okay, so this is how you can create strings in Python. Now let's look at string immutability. Immutability means you cannot change any like element at any position in a string once created. They are immutable. So if I create a string hello, and if I try to change like the element at the first index, because Python is 0 indexed, first index means second element. If I try to change it to some other character C, I cannot do that. You cannot remove characters from a string in place, which means at the same memory location. In the same string, you cannot remove elements, you cannot add elements, you cannot change elements. That is not allowed. Okay, you'll get an error. So it gives you type error. So I should write that in comment here. So you get a type error if you try to change any element inside a string. Now let's look at the next function, which is the len function in a string. Len function just gives us how many characters are present inside a string, right? So if I write a string, let's say hello, and if I print the length of the string s, I can do that. Okay, len function just gives me how many characters are there. Now an important thing to note here is even if the string contains spaces, that will also be counted. So if I write hello space world and an exclamation mark, let's say, if I print the length of this string s, I'll get 12, which is 1 2 3 4 5, and the space is 6, then 7 8 9 10 11, and then the exclamation mark. All of them are counted. Okay, and hence the length is 12. Even in multi-line string, the new line character will be counted as a character. Okay, so if I write hello and then enter and then world, okay, and if I close this and if I print the length of s, I'll get 11 here. So here, because we don't have the exclamation mark, but the new line character after hello, I have a new line character that is counted as a character. Okay, and hence total is 5 and then 6, then 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so when you go to the new line, that is counted as a single character. It is the new line character. We have seen that in escape sequences, \n, that character is there. Okay, now let's look at indexing and slicing. You can access a particular element in a string. You cannot change it, but you can access it. You can print it if you want. So that you can do. So we have seen it in class. We can use positive index or negative index to access elements. So if I create a string s gate, and if I print s of 0, or if I print s of 1, or if I print s of 2, or if I print s of 3, I can do that. Okay, so the indices are 0, 1, 2 and 3. At 0 we have G, then A, then T, then E. So it's 0 indexed. Positive indices go like this. And remember that if you try to go out of bounds, if you try to print s of 4, you will get an error, index error, because this index did not exist. Okay, so here you will get an index error. Similarly, how does the negative index go? They go from -1 to minus the length of the sequence. So if I print s of -1, or if I print s of -2, -3 or -4. So let's try to do that. So the last character is s of -1, then the second last character is s of -2 and so on. So you'll get the string in reverse order. So -1 is E, then T, then A and then G, like that. Okay. So this is how the negative indices go. Here also you cannot go out of bounds. If you try to print s of -5, you will get an error. Okay. Now let's move to slicing strings. Slicing contains three things: start, stop and step size, just like we have in the range function. The same way here also things work. So if I create the string that we had in a class, get Python. Okay. So if I print s of let's say 0 to 4, it means starting is 0 and stopping is 4, and stopping point is not included. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. GATE will be printed. Okay. Now if I print just s of colon and then 4, so starting point will be taken as default, which is 0. So again GAT will be printed. Now if I print s of 4 colon, it means starting point is 4 and ending point is not given, so that will be taken as the length of the string. So an entire string will be taken after 4th index. So Python will be printed here. Okay. And similarly you can have step size as well. You can have colon, colon 2. So here what is there, starting and ending is not given, which means entire string will be taken 0 to length, and step size is 2, so you will take steps of 2 to size. So G, T, then P, then T, then O will be printed. Okay, G, T, P, T, O. Okay. And similarly the standard way of reversing a string, if you want to reverse a string, colon, colon, -1. This does not so slicing does not create does not change the original string remains the same. It creates a new copy in memory. It creates a new copy and then it gives you. So here the reverse string is a new string which is created. This is what we have seen in class as well. Okay, cool. So this is how you can do slicing, and also in the same string you can do negative slicing as well using the negative index. So if I do -3 to -1, it means you are starting at -3 and ending at -1. So what is -3? The character which is last third, which is this H, and -1 is N, but the last is not included, so you will just get HO. Okay, here. So if you print this, you will just get HO. And similarly, if I do print s of colon -3, colon -3 means what? You will take everything and stop at -3. -3 is what? -1, -2, -3. So stopping point is H. Okay, and you are starting at like default value is 0 only, but you are stopping at H, and the stopping point is not included. So you will stop at T only. So this is the string that you will take, gate and then PYT. Okay, so we have seen these questions in class. I'm just giving you a demo here. Okay. Now let's look at string operators. So there are multiple operators that we saw in class. Addition is something that you can do on strings. So if I print addition of two strings like hello plus the string world, then both of them will be concatenated, and there will be nothing in between them. Okay, so this is addition, and you can do multiplication as well. We can actually multiply a number with a string, that is allowed. So you can do hello into 3. This is allowed, and the same string will be printed 3 times. You can even multiply a number with a string, that is also allowed. So what you can do is you can do 3 into hello, that will also give you the same number. Okay, so you can multiply a string into a number or a number into a string, that is both allowed, and that both will give you the same answer. An interesting thing to try out might be 3 into hello into 2. I am not even sure. Okay, yeah, so it will just give the same string 6 times now. So anything is allowed. You can essentially multiply numbers to strings. Okay, so the same string is now given 6 times. Okay, cool. So this is something, yeah, that you can do, but you cannot multiply a string with a string. That is not allowed. Okay, cool. So moving on, next is membership operator. So you can apply membership operator in string. How does that work? You can check that any substring is present inside a string or not. So s in gate, if I ask, in gate s is not present. Even e, small e is not present, but capital E is present. Okay, so let's see that. If I ask capital E in gate, that will give you true. Even you can give any substring. So even TE is there. So that is also true. Okay, this is how membership works. And even if you ask not in, that will just give you the reverse answer. So E not in gate will give you true. Now, okay. So this is in and not in. Now you can have equality testing. Equality operator can be used. ABC is equal to ABC. This will give you true because yes, they are exactly same. Even if you introduce a single space, it will become false. They should be exactly same. Okay. And similarly, not equal to is the opposite of equal to. It will give you false if the strings are not equal. So this is how it works. And one another example is they are case sensitive as well. So the string ABC is not equal to string capital ABC. This will give you true because they are actually not equal. Okay. And then you can use greater than, less than as well. So the string apple is actually greater than banana if you ask. So this will give you false because apple is less than banana. It checks the lexicographical order. So the first character will be matched here. B is greater than A, and hence you will get false. And if you give banana, but instead if you give less than, then you will get true. So you can similarly use greater than equal to and less than equal to as well. I'm leaving that. That is very simple. You can do that. Okay. Now coming to string methods, very important. We have seen various methods in class. We have only seen important methods coming to exam point of view in class. So you should know them. Let's look at them one by one. First is case conversion method. If you want to change the case of a string, strings are immutable. You can never change the same string. Always a copy of the string will be created whenever you're using any method in Python for strings. Okay. So let us take a string hello world. Now I'll write a few statements on top of it. Print s dot upper. Upper will convert everything to upper letters. Now I'm printing s dot lower. It will convert everything to lower letters or small case letters. If I do print s dot capitalize, okay, capitalize will do what? It will just capitalize the first character of the string, only the first character. Now similarly, if I do s dot title, s dot title will do what? It will capitalize every first letter of every word. It will capitalize first letter of every word. Every word. So let's take a better example. I'll do something else. The initial string is, let's say, like this, something crazy. Hello world. R is capital and E is capital. Okay, let's do it on this. So s dot title and then let's say s dot swap case, so that we will understand better. Swap case. These are the methods that we saw. If I run this, s dot upper is giving me all the characters are capital now. S dot lower gives me all the characters are lower now. S dot capitalize, what it does, only the first letter will be capital and all others will be now small. It will make the first letter capital and it will also make all the remaining ones as a small. So it changed this E and R to small letters. Okay. And similarly, title does what? It will just capitalize the first letter of every word in the sentence, and it will also change the remaining characters to small case. Okay. So here, it's the perfect title case. And swap case does what? It will change capital letters to small, small to capital. So E and R now are small and rest are capital. Okay. So this is how the case conversion methods in Python work. Now coming to searching and finding methods. So here we have find and index method for searching. So if I take the string hello world exclamation mark, let's say, if I print s dot find, let's say if I want to find where is O present, so it will just give me the index of the first occurrence. The first occurrence is here. So it will give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. At fourth index it is present, so it will give me 4. Now if I try to print s dot find, let's say some character which is not present, small w is not present inside this string. So find function by default will give you -1 as the answer. It does not error out, it will give you -1 as the answer. Now similarly, if I do index function instead, index function actually errors out. So I'll use the same two things for index function now. So s dot index of O and W. So the fourth line here should error out. This should error out because index function gives error if the character is not present. Okay. So yes, the first three worked out fine. 4 minus 1 and 4. This gives you minus 1 because this does not error out, but index function does error out. Okay, if the substring is not found. So this is how the find and index work. And now coming to like the other functions here, we can have r find as well. S dot r find that tries to search from the last. If you want to search the last occurrence, then you can use this. So if I do s dot r find o, this will give you the last occurrence where o is present. So it is present at the 7th index here. Okay. And we can use count function as well. Count function just tells us how many times a particular substring is present inside a string. So if I just try to find L, how many times L is present? 3. Small l is present 3 times. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so 3 times it is present. So this is the count function. And then we have then the next one is starts with and ends with. We can actually check that a string it starts with and ends with a particular substring or not. So if I want to check if it starts with hello, it gives me true because the string does start with hello. And if I want to check that string ends with let's say an exclamation mark, I can check that. Okay, it does end with an exclamation mark, so it gives me true. So these are all searching and finding methods for strings in Python. Okay, now let's look at replacing and splitting methods. So we can replace a particular substring with another string in Python in a particular string. So let's see how it works. So if I write hello space world, this is my string. Okay, and if I just print s dot replace let's say world, if I want to replace world with Python, then what will happen? The world will be replaced with the string Python. Okay, so hello Python is now printed. Now similarly, if I print s dot split, split will do what? It will split the string based on white spaces, which means space, the new line character, tab character, it will split on them. So by default it is splits on space. So hello and world are now two separate strings and they are given in a list. Okay. Now if I do if I want to split on some other character, let's say if I split on some character O, if I split on O, what will happen? Hell is a word, then O is splitted, then space W is another word, space W, then again O is ignored, then RLD is another. Okay, so this is how split works. And the next one is partition. How does partition work? It will keep the original characters as well. So if I partition on O, it will keep these O's as well in the list. Okay, so here hell is a string, then O is another string, then space world is the string. And here if you see, when you partition, it only partitions one time. So it only partitions on the first occurrence. It does not take all the occurrences. It only partitions on the first occurrence. So hell is the string that you got, and then space world is the another string here that you got. It did not use the second O to partition. It only partitions on the first string, first occurrence. Okay, cool. So this is how replacing and splitting methods in Python strings work. Next is white space handling. So if you want to remove spaces in the front or back, you can use white space handling. So let's create a string in which we have some spaces in the front and then hello, then another space, then world, then exclamation mark, and then some another spaces. Okay, so if I print s dot l strip, it will remove all the spaces from the left side. If I print s dot r strip, it will remove all the spaces from the right side. And if I print s dot strip, okay, it will remove spaces from both the sides. Generally strip function is what we use. So here from here left side only is removed, so right side spaces are already there, still there. Here from left side are there, but right side spaces are removed, and here from left and right both the spaces are removed. Okay, now let's look at joining strings. We can join strings if they are present in a list or a tuple. So let's create a list in which we have a few strings, hello, then another string is world, then another string is an exclamation mark. Okay, and if I want to join them all with a space, so I can write space dot join the list. So this will just join all the things present here with the spaces in between. Hello space, world space, exclamation mark. Here I'm not printing it, but again in Colab it is, the output is displayed by default. You can print it as well. Okay, cool. So next we have content testing methods. If you want to check what is present inside a string, like what type of content is present, is it digits, or is it alphabets, or is it alphanumeric characters, you can use the content testing methods like is alpha, is number, and so on. So let's create a few strings. S1 is a string, let's say it contains only characters. Hello. Then sorry, yep. Then S2 is another string that's, let's say it contains only digits, and then S3 is another string that contains both strings and numbers. So let's say A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and it is all lower. So if I print S1 dot is alpha, what will happen? It will check that only alphabets are present or not. Okay, so this right now string S1 only contains alphabet, it should give us true. Let me write the expected output here as well. So now, and if on the same string if I write is digit, what should it give me? Again it should give false, because it does not contains all digits, it contains characters as well, so it should give false. Similarly, if I do S1 dot is alpha num, is L num, so it will check, it will only contain, it contains digits and characters only or not. So this should give true, because it does contain only digits and what should we say, digits and characters. Let's take another string S4 that contains like some other character as well, like let's say hello hyphen world. We will test it on this one as well. Okay, and let's try to print is lower and is upper as well. So let's make it interesting. Let's make this one capital, entirely capital. Hello world. Okay, cool. Now this is a better example. Now I'm printing S1 is upper. So this will check that all the characters are uppercase or not. In this string, there or not all characters are uppercase, and so it should give us false. Okay, and similarly if I print S1 dot is lower, it should check all the characters are lowercase or not. Here not all the characters are lowercase, there is one character which is uppercase as well, so this should give me also false. Okay, so these are all the functions that we saw. This is on string S1. So if I run this, I'll get true false, false. Cool. Now let me take these to a new cell. So we can test it on all the strings. So for S1, this should be the output, and this is what we got. Now if I test the same thing on S2, what should be the output? Let's think about it. So if I test the same thing on S2, so is S2 all alphabets? No, S2 contains digits as well, so it should be false. Is S2 all digits? Yes, S2 is all digits. Is S2 all alphanumeric? Yes, it is either digits or numbers, so this should be true as well. Okay, now let's look at is upper. So what is upper and is lower do on S2? This is interesting because there are no characters present in S2. So what it does is upper returns true if all the characters which are present are uppercase. If there are no characters present, it will give you false. There should be at least one uppercase character. Okay, so there is an exception. So is upper works how? There should be at least one character in the string. If there is no character, it will give you false. But if there is at least one character, then it will check that all the characters are uppercase or not. So there are two conditions here. Okay, so but here there are no characters present, so it should give you false. See in S4 what will happen? In S4 there are a few characters which are not even alphabets, but that is okay. There should be at least one character and all the characters present should be uppercase. Here there are no characters and hence it will give you false. Okay, and similarly for is lower also, there are no characters present, so it will give you false. So when you run this, the output is false, true, true, false, false. Okay, so this is how the is upper and is lower function work on strings which do not have any characters present. Now let's do the same for string S3 as well. So if I do it on the string S3, let us firstly figure out what should be the outputs. So for string S3, it contains alphabets and digits both. So it is not all alphabets. This should give you false. It does not contains all digits. So this should also give you false. This contains all alphabets and or digits. So this is true. Is it all upper? No, there are a few lowercase characters present as well. Is it all lower? Yes, there is at least one character, and all the characters which are present are lowercase, and hence this should give you true. So the output should be false, false, true, false, true. Okay. So this is on string S3. Now let's do the same on string S4 as well. So for string S4, let's see what should happen. S4, 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 S4. S4, is it alphabets? All alphabets? No, there is a hyphen present, so it is false. Is it all digits? No, it is not all digits. There is characters and hyphens both. Is it all alphanumeric? No, there is a hyphen present, and hence it is neither alphanumeric or it is not alphanumeric also. So this will be false. Is it all upper? Yes, because all the characters which are present are uppercase. Is it all lowercase? Obviously false. So false, 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 true, false. This is what the output which we expected as well. So this was a demo on content testing methods. Now let's move to escape characters. We know what escape characters in Python are. All the characters which we cannot write like manually, like the tab character or the new line character if you want to write. So if I print just a string, let's say, which contains a tab, hello, and then tab character. Tab character is actually a character, but we cannot write it like this. Like you cannot enter a tab like this. Okay, actually you can, but if I print the length of this string, you can actually enter the tab character by pressing the tab key as well. That also does the same, but we will not know that it is tab character or is it just two spaces that you made. So the length was 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so see, it actually took tab as two spaces here. So don't enter tab character like this. If you want to enter the tab character, just write it like this, \t. So here it printed the tab, which is two spaces, but it was like, yeah, it is actually the tab character. But if you change the tab to 4 characters, 4 spaces will be introduced now. Okay, so this is how the tab character works. Similarly, you can have a new line character as well, hello \n world. So here you will have a new line character, so hello, and then there is a new line character and then world. So this is how you can enter a new line character. And then if you want to enter a / inside a string, so how do you do that? Let's say if you do hello then \world. This works perfectly fine because \w was not an escape sequence, right? Because \W is not an escape sequence, but this is not suggested. This is not how you should do it, because what if you had a n here? You wanted this string, so here it will treat \n as a sequence. So always when you want to insert a \, write double \. There is no harm in doing that. It will consider it as a single \. only. And if you're not sure next character is a special sequence or not, always use two \. if you want to insert a single \. Okay, so this is how you can use \. And if you want to insert double quotes, let's say you are creating a string, and inside the string only you want a double backquote, hello, and then double quotes and then world. So if you enter a double quote directly, it will end the string here. And yeah, what is this then? Okay, so if you want to enter a double quotes and you are writing the string using double quotes, you have to \ it, silence it, then it will be entered. Similarly, if you are creating it using single quotes, and if you want to enter a single quote, then you should silence it. So if you are creating it using single quotes, and if you want to insert a single quote, you have to \ it, otherwise it will just end the string there. Okay, so use it like this. Cool. So this is how escape characters in Python work. Now let's look at the practice exercises that I gave you in the class. There are 5 problems which I gave you. Again, 3 are homework. You have to try them on your own. I will give you the code when I give you the notebook, but firstly you have to try it on your own. For classroom problems also, you should try it on your own first. Only if you're not getting it, you can see the solution in this video. Okay. So first is a homework problem. Let's look at the second problem. Second problem is write a program to check whether a string is palindrome or not. So what are palindrome strings? The strings which are like same when read backwards. So A, B, C, B, A. This is a palindrome because the reverse of it is also A, B, C, B, A. Now if I look at the string hello, the reverse of it is O, L, L, E, H. So they are not same. So this is not a palindrome. So how do I reverse a string? The standard way is like you can do slicing with a negative step size, and we will just compare that the string is equal to the reverse or not, and based on that we can print it as palindrome or not. So let's take a string as an input. We will write a message, enter the string, enter a string, and then I will just check if s is equal to its reversal. So s is equal to the reversal colon colon -1. If the string and its reversal are same, then I can print that the string is palindrome. The string is palindrome. Otherwise, they are not palindrome. So else I can print it is not palindrome. The string is not palindrome. That's all. Okay. So we used two concepts here. We can compare two strings using the equality. So this will just compare that they are exactly same or not. And the other concept is how do we reverse the string. Okay. So we use these two concepts. So if I use it on a string like let's say A, B, C, B, A, it is an palindrome. So the string is palindrome is printed. But if I do it on A, B, C, D, E, it is not a palindrome. So this will just print it is not a palindrome. Okay, so third problem again is a homework. You can try it on your own. Next is capitalize the first letter of each word in a sentence. Very simple problem. We can just directly use the title function. Title function does what? It capitalizes the first letter of each word in a sentence. So if I just again take the input and write enter a string, and I can directly just print the like a formatted string or something like directly I can print s dot title. It will just capitalize each character in the first of the first word in the string. So if I write hi, I am Bansal. So it just capitalized the first character of every word in the string. So you can use the title function directly. That is why it is important to know such like functions. If you don't know title function, you can use the capitalize function as well. That capitalizes the first character of the string. Like that is a very like lengthy code to write. So take it as a homework. Like what if you don't want to use the title function? If you don't want to use any function, how will you do that? Think about it. Like it will be a very lengthy code, but yeah, you can try it as homework. Again, like I can give the code to you if you want, but yeah, you can try it as an homework. Okay. So yeah, using title function, you can do it pretty simply. Remaining questions are very simple. You can try them on your own. Write a program to count vowels in a string. This we did in the last lecture and using a for loop. Again, that is the same problem. Try writing the code again. Remove all digits from a string. You can do that. Again, you have to use a for loop here. So this is a smart program to write. Replace all spaces with hyphen in a string. That is very simple. You can use the replace function directly and try it on your own. So yep, this was a demo on strings in Python. Thanks for watching the lecture. Let's meet in the next lecture. Bye bye.